So as a joke, a quick joke, what if we rated at 1:30 in the morning because we accidentally fell asleep for 4 hours? Actually, I need the potion. Oops. Could have saved a few ticks there. Slow start. Evening Aussie time, very good. A 1. Really, man? DPS seems pretty good for a 1 though, not gonna lie. Pizza chain preference. I don't really eat pizza chain, but if I had to choose between like Domino's and Pizza Hut and I guess like other stuff like Little Caesars, I would say Domino's out of those 3. But I live in New York, so I have to, I mean, I'll be honest, why would I eat a pizza preference when I'm in New York? So, you know. But out of those 3, I think Domino's is the best. Shadow the guy. Ah, I misclicked on a boulder. This is definitely the just woke up clicks. I should probably have the Bone Dagger up here because I always drop it actually. It's really nice. Would be really convenient if I just drop the Bone Dagger right there. Bone Dagger combat up there, I guess. Honestly, for a 1 Bone Dagger, this is pretty impressive DPS. It's not like the best DPS I've ever had for sure, but... Just woke up, yeah. It was one of those moments where I laid in bed and then I was like, I should not be doing this. I might fall asleep, and then I fell asleep. Fire nap? Yeah, it's like the one where you wake up and there's like freaking the marks of the blanket on your body and stuff. I was out cold. Yeah, where am I? The where am I kind of sleep. Scared of oversleeping. I've been pretty... I don't think I've ever slept past my alarm, so... I've never had a fear of oversleep. Yo, what the hell? Enter the room, bro. This guy is standing outside. I wonder if I get a save to tick on that, actually. But I did an L into the middle right there. Instead of going on the outer edge, I think I could have saved the tick there. I'm usually pretty good about... Actually, no, never mind. Let me take that back. I was gonna say I'm pretty good about not sleeping in more than one cycle, and then I realized, wait, that is actually the worst thing. That's all I can do. All I know is how to sleep in multiple cycles. I very, very rarely sleep in one cycle. I only do it on the weekends. Like, weekends is probably the only time I can knock out for one cycle. DPS is good. I'm killed 3 eggs. Some points. We'll chill here. Been away from the game for a minute. If I'm guessing, if you drop 1 strength bonus by camping Eternals and bringing Torva legs, you lose max hit. Yes. Plus accuracy. Ooh, I'm a late tick. I'll just do 1 fang. I'm too scared to greed more than that. I normally do 2 fangs, but I definitely lost a tick there. I misclicked. Ah. Slow. I'll let 2 in. Is that 3 in? No, it's 2 in. Okay. 2 in, which is 200-ish. Be worse. Wait, why am I flaking? I'm chilling. But yeah, I definitely don't want to lose a max hit on either the Fang or the... I actually don't No, you lose the max fang hit. The one I'm really concerned about is the mace max hit loss. That one would suck a lot. Two zeros, uh-oh. 3 zeros, uh-oh. Not the end of the world. We can live and mage it. Dude, imagine how tanky it would be if I camped Piety on this room with Turbo Legs. Be kind of restricting on prayer though. Old Rental Redemption that. Her regen pots changed me. I know, right? I'm just camping Piety? Holy shit. You know my 3029 run from a while ago? That's actually the exact same setup I'm doing in terms of just Piety camping. I perform best when I'm chilling, I'll have you know. I wonder if people who have heard of me but haven't tuned into the stream think most of my runs are me flicking my brains out. Because I've never... Eventually, once I'm like nice and settled into the raid, this is eventually what it devolves into. Me just chilling, barely flicking. That's pretty slow. Because I messed up mostly, but... I could probably be cheap and bring great Chinchampas, but I don't want to risk it for Monkey Room. It could cost me a lot of time. It genuinely looks effortless. It does take, like, practice, of course. Like, the Chinchampas only really affects a few small things, which is if you do a bounce from a swarm onto the meleeer, you have a little less damage, but that's pretty irrelevant. Not that relevant. And then the most relevant one is you lose some damage for the Monkey Room, but yeah, like red Chinchampas is fine. Your Din's call stuff is discussing Addy's. Yeah, I'm a Giga gamer. I don't conform to the laws of playing correctly. I make my own rules. You don't bounce anyway. The only bounce I found to be very consistent is, well, not very consistent, common amongst ToA runs is swarm number 3 or number 2 if it skips. If it skips, it'd be swarm number 2, but otherwise swarm number 3. That's the only one that you can kind of consistently bounce. You might be able to bounce a late triple on the... hold on. Thinking. Southwest spawn, but it doesn't always go there. It usually doesn't, actually, so... Only 2 bounces. You can get more, but you would have to lose ticks, and that's not worth it. Dude, Din's flicking on Coliseum is insane though. I haven't even gotten to that. When I'm talking about bouncing, you're talking about chaining the bugs in the southwest tile, yeah, of the melee. There must be a better transition for that one. I should figure it out. On the melee, yeah. Which is why when you see it, when I drag the melee around, I have his southwest marked specifically. Makes it easy to like figure out the timing. It's pretty generous actually. Come on, I need to hit big here. Nice. I'm hitting like a... hitting al dente right now. Like a noodle. Redemption on quadrants if you mess up is insane. Why not live against burn damage just in case? I think I can do this for one more tick, and then I have to pray melee. And I should be able to hit him right before he swaps here. If he could swap, I guess. One more cycle, I think. You see that excellent inventory management? My entire inventory got fixed. One of my favorite skills to learn in the game. Inventory management. I did a horizontal switch and a vertical switch. Any perks so far? This is the first raid of the day, so no, not yet. You got the yellow cares, but accidentally deleted it. How? How? How did you delete it? I've never heard of someone deleting their yellow cares. Oh, you deleted it off the purple chest. Not the purple chest, but like off the loot chest. I thought you deleted it from like something else. Got my quiver and 3 total completions today thanks to your Din Scut and strat. I was able to fail a lot with cheap Deafy thanks to practice. Hey, congrats, dude. I assume you're probably in a little bit of a higher budget gear setup now. I was planning on returning to Coliseum to do another budget video, but I'm messing around with the setup to see what I like the most. I have a meme tech, but I don't know if it's actually like really good or kind of like eh. It seems like not as good as Burning Claws. Burning Claws is nice. I wonder if because this is so annoying. I need to push this even if it costs ticks. I wonder if it still has you on 2 out of 3, or I'm really sorry if it resets all the way and you might get the other gems again. That would suck. Noxious Halberd OP. Noxious Halberd's really good for soul. I don't like it for waves because it's slower than Fang. I think 8%. Which is a lot. But it's really nice for Solar Flare, I will admit. 20 mil for being OP is pretty OP. As you get more experienced, well, you already have 3 kill count. I'd probably say bring Fang for waves and Noxious for soul. It's so good. And then you still have Noxious for this will not clear out that rock, but it'll clear out the other rock. That'd be a nice upgrade. My DPS is kind of falling right now. I think I skipped the wave. Oh, you have Scythe? Oh, never mind. You're bringing an Amulet Switch? I would recommend Amulet Switch as soon as you have your second KC, to be honest. In case the first one was a fluke. Since you've already gotten 2 KC, we obviously know it's not a fluke. I'll just bring Torture / Rancor. These are a lot of money. Rancor Bluffer, yeah. Croc is fighting for his life, dude. Right when I got the finishing blow, he healed. I think he did that twice. I respect it. Well, this rate's actually gonna, in a while. Behind quite a few minutes. Double Southern Song can still end your run. Yeah. Take some practice to get used to all the spawns and how to react. If you're still a Dins abuser, don't forget. You said you have Scythe. You can do a little Scythe into Dins while playing Mage. You're chillin'. For most spawns. It's pretty... Are you abusing the system? A little bit, but... Ray Mage, Dins up, Scythe between Dins. Chillin'. Especially if you have claws. If you have D-claws, it's free. Zomg, go to sleep? No. I already slept from 8:30 p.m. until 12:30. $72. I should probably heal up skulls. In case I made a mistake. No one saw that. Well, I'm very happy I healed up. That would have chanced me if I, Then again, I only went melee range because I took out the sun. Technically. Haven't tried that. So you're on level 1 of Din's Abuse. You can go to at least level 4. I gotta show you some of my illegal Din solves. You're using it to run pillars. That's level 1. Level 1 Din's Abuse. There's multiple levels of Din's Abuse. I'll let this one... I know this is not going to be skulls, so I'm chilling until my adrenaline gets a little closer. Oh, I didn't change out my thrall. It's too late now, though. $20, not a grasp angle. And kids still pulling north, yeah. The best times to Din's Abuse is if you see a major, either the small one or the big one, and something else. What you can do if you... I don't know if you have declaws. Declaw kind of does require declaws, to be honest, for the bigger, tankier mobs. But it doesn't require it for the smaller mobs. Is you just pull out the Dins, and then you pray Mage. Make sure the Dins is on for the not Mage attacks. And then you take out your Halberd or Soul Reaper Axe, whatever you're using, or Scythe if it's a bigger mob, and you hit it right after it does the attacks. Burning Claws? Burning Claws aren't that great for that, because Burning Claws do damage over time and you want immediate damage. But Burning Claws are good for overall rate speed. If you do have regular declaws, they're a little bit better for this Din's Abuse. But you can still do it. Five minutes. We should be okay. 5 minutes should be okay for a full skull skip. Could get them. Up to you. Your favorite Din's Abuse? I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just Din's flicking is really good. I had this one wonky solve where I couldn't off-tick a Manticore and a Major. So I would play a Mage versus the Major. And then make sure Dins was up for the range and melee hits, and then just siphon in between. How many shadows? We have 5. You feel your first is coming soon? Good luck. Play a little bit safer. I'm gonna use the red pyramid just in case I need the sun for the ending. I don't think I even need to be honest. Dude, my damage goes up when I use the red pyramid, I swear. I only lose 1 max hit, but hi, good luck, bro. Thank you, man. Aussie schedule perfect. This is the... I fucked up my sleep schedules. Scream. Your nocturnal already is okay, true. Might as well, right? Yo, how's it going, Scotty? Never looking. We're dry 1. It's doomed. Well, Casey, did I realize ToA was a great raid? Well, I mean, I still have my complaints about the raid for sure. Not gonna say that I have no complaints about the raid at all. Definitely some things I don't like. But it took me a while to figure out Baba was like better than what I expected. Also take her too. I would say, like, I saw the potential behind the raid, But I was like, how do I actually... What's the way to call it? How do I actually pull out? Because like, it looked like to me everyone was cheesing the raid and then calling it too easy. I'm like, surely there's a way to pull some a little bit of efficiency out of this raid to make it like, you know, like a good playing experience. Because at the end of the day, the high level community, they want to optimize the raid. And I was like, well, they're already playing unoptimized, so I just need to be the one to figure out how to make it, you know, a little bit more fun. So for a while I was face tanking Baba because I was like, well, clearly 6 ticking is not worth it. It's just bad DPS. Why would I do anything that's bad DPS? But I was like, surely it's a little unattractive, and I think so. I agreed with them that it was a little unattractive doing it that way, because like Baba just can slap you if you're lucky. And to be frank, Baba's actual mechanics aren't that in depth anyway, so I agree with them on that. But then when you bring 5-1 into it, it really helps. It genuinely, like, doing 5-1 makes the raid feel in-depth, I would say. For Baba, and for Kephri as well. Finding a good swarming pattern for Overlords was really important. That made the room feel pretty fun, I would say. Yeah, like getting a good Baba Kephri is pretty good. I already knew people who complained about the monkey room. It was very obvious to me. If you complained about old monkey room, you probably just weren't good at it. Because either way, it was a low damage room. I think you can skip over bananas, right? Okay. But new monkey room is okay too. It has a different level of skill. It's a little less, but there's different skills to be had. Switching is definitely not a skill emphasized in New Monkey Room. It's purely positioning now. That's what it feels like. Positioning is really important for a non-static spawn room. I don't think a lot of people understand that. They're like, oh, it's just whether your blowpipe hits or not. Not really. I've had if you look at the 133 Monkey Room I did recently, my blowpipe doesn't even one-shot a lot of the time. It's straight up noodling on a lot of the mobs, taking 3 shots or more. It's all about positioning so that you hit right when they spawn, basically. And with static spawns, positioning doesn't really matter for static spawns. You memorize it, and that's it. For dynamic spawns, with the Monkey Room, you have to be always in the center, but kind of like ready to do a fix, you know, like on the pillars and stuff. And then you have to save the best monkeys for that job. Things you can blowpipe are ideal, but you know, obviously blowpipe's a 2-tick weapon, so that's kind of hard. That's where you leave the melees alive, because the melees, you have 5 ticks to work with, or 4 ticks if you're using a trident. Positioning for volatiles. Volatiles are exclusively to keep the thrall count low. If you keep the thrall count low, it makes your cleanup at the end a lot smoother, which actually is pretty important. Never worry about volatiles or the regular baboons. That's how you should see volatiles in the new monkey room. They're purely to help you get rid of the thralls. Nothing else. Don't even think about using them on the other stuff. I think the only exception to that is going to be the melee at the second to last wave. You can leave him alive in most or some cases and have the Vol take care of him too. But other than that, don't really worry about the volatiles. The old monkey room was more skill expressive regarding volatiles as well, because you would use them for like everything. But I mean, the new monkey room is fine too. I think it's a lot more fun than Chambers Crabs. I really like Chambers Crabs too. No hate on that. I think even new monkey room is better than Chambers Crabs. Because Chambers Crabs is the same shit, just executed well every time. But the monkey room is like a little dynamic. So it kind of keeps you on your toes, even if you have a lot of experience with it. And unless, you know, you're content going only sub 2, in which case, then you will probably complain about it. So we need a thieving room, yeah, basically. I still think the mirror puzzle, Zebak puzzle, kind of boring. I think Kephri puzzle theoretically could be good. They need different puzzles or like more variety puzzles because you're just doing like the same 4 puzzles. And 2, they've let plugin abusers just cheat the puzzle away, so it's just a waste of time for everyone now. Because you needed to like rub some brain cells together to memorize the matching patterns and the things. Now you don't, because the plugin just tells you. So no wonder everyone freaking hates the puzzle. They don't do it. They're not doing the room. Of course, this is gonna be a waste of time for them. But yeah, not only would they need more puzzles, if they were to make it okay, I'm okay with them skipping puzzles entirely, by the way. I'm just saying if they wanted to make the puzzle a little bit more engaging at this point. Imagine they made a thieving puzzle. This is what you guys asked for, right? I'm okay with it either way. Either don't do any puzzles. If you're gonna do the puzzles, you can't let them plug in abuse. Dude, I gotta go around the world for this guy. I don't think puzzles genuinely is gonna work in this day and age though, at this point. Jagex seems very content with letting people plug and abuse that stuff. Imagine a world where the CSS client and Jagex client, official client, get good enough. We have tile markers, stuff like that. You see the mobile clients getting really good now, right? I don't know if anyone's played on those clients recently. I haven't. Do you know if they have clue solvers? For example, the sliding puzzle. Are those in it? I'm assuming not, right? Because in my eyes, the only way a puzzle is going to actually work and be intriguing for the OSR's player base is if Jagex puts their foot down and say, hey, yeah, they have menu swapper, but do they have like this, you know, like the Monkey Madness 1 puzzle? Do they have solvers like that in the official client? I'm assuming no, right? Because the only way puzzles can be good is if you actually get people to use their brains for the puzzle, which is never going to happen in a RuneLite world. It has to be with the Jagex official launcher if you want puzzles. Maybe I think that's just something they forgot to account for, is that we're just going to cheat anyway. It does have puzzle solvers? Yeah. No box solver, yeah. I think all puzzles and stuff like that, they would not be allowed to exist if they want to make puzzles good. Which is not going to happen as long as we have RuneLite. It's going to be a hot minute before puzzles are good. Definitely not Raise 4. Winter Summit, woo. It's gonna be a hot minute. Even if they announce it, it won't. Remember, it won't come out until probably 2026. 2025 is gonna be the sailing year and all that stuff. I'd be very surprised if they pull out Raids 4 by then. I'll have greatly underestimated the productivity of Jagex. These Raids 4 be solo friendly. But the Tobbers will hate it. I guarantee if it's solo friendly, like ToA is, Tobbers will hate it. Oh, it doesn't proc there for real? I'm noodling. 706. Okay, it should. I should be okay because I think he'll teleport right before this DPS check. I'll dodge it anyway. Messed up. How's it going? No ID. GM. They gotta do a little bit more interesting things other than having freeze mechanics, though. I think freeze is okay, but they have a clue solver. I feel like if they keep spoiling people with puzzle solvers, it's not gonna work out for puzzles. They should just not do it for the next raid, honestly. The Gen Z audience cannot handle puzzles. We live in this society now. Can you think of raid mechanics off the top of your head? What do you mean, like for puzzles, or are you talking about like things I would like to see? Or like team-defined raids? I've done a lot of raids in a lot of different games in general, so I have some ideas, yeah. Dude, I was right about the sun. I was so scared I was gonna die to that DPS check. For team coordinated raids specifically, I think the most cringe ones I want to see MMO creators get away from in general is the Simon Says. I think Simon Says is so overdone. I think stuff like the Vulcan Pillar Crash is good from Lost Ark, where you bait a monster to hitting a certain spot or going to a certain spot. I think that would be good. That would be a raid mech I'd like to see. Using your movement to affect the boss's movement, basically. Not just playing kiting, but like you want him in a certain spot when he does a certain thing. Sounds very basic, and it is just me saying it like that, but you can fit in team roles like tanks because of that, if you want to do team roles. And if he's just aggroing the nearest player, that could work too. Regardless, you kind of make like a small role like that you want. I think the Nightmare's frontal attack system can also be used more. For example, I don't like frontal attack system. I think is good. He attacks in front of him, you know, simple, to the point. You can have someone tank. Should I do one a little overheal? Why not? I'm okay with I mean, it kind of depends. It feels like shit if they want to make it soloable, but I gotta think of a way to word this. There are ways for them. I think RuneScape is a perfect game that they can express more use out of the spellbook than just what they're doing right now. So for example, they recently did the magic rework. They recently did the magic rework, and essentially, you'll only use standards if you want an elemental weakness. And I think that's boring as shit, dude. Sure, you can give the metal dragons all the weaknesses you want, but that doesn't make the spellbook interesting from a raid's perspective, from a high-level PVMer. Because everyone's going to be using thralls. Thralls, thralls, thralls. And then same thing for Ancients. Like, right now, Ancients is just for freezing in raids. There's no Shadow Barrage in raids. That's only for these, like, no-name bosses that no one really cares about that much. Smoke Barrage not used. Poison's underutilized. Curses aren't used ever. Although theoretically they're like a consistent way to reduce defense, right? Curses aren't used for some reason. No one has ever cared about reducing the damage of Baba or Akkha using the curses in any sense, because why would you, I guess? Because it's not damage. Telegraph's not used in any raid other than chambers, like to save a mild few seconds. But even then, it's not used for that. It's used for the elemental weakness at Ice Demon, not for Telegrad. Bind is a viable alternative to Ice Barrage for small Mutadile, but again, why would you just not use Ancients for that? Because you have one that deals damage and one doesn't. Like, come on. Or Entangle, whichever is the better one. They could have made it so that, let's say, Entangle is 100% hit rate on the big Muta, and that would instantly shoot up, like, the viability of standards other than Ice Demon. Anyone here done Curse of Arav? I heard if you on Reddit, I saw the thing where if you unequip your weapon, there's a mechanic where you can, like, steal it. Can you telegrab it out of the air? Because that's, like, one of the ideas I have for making standard spellbook interesting. It's doing it right now. Did you already do the boss fight? And if you haven't done the boss fight, can you try telegrabbing it out of the air? There's a fight where the guy throws an axe at you. He has like an axe. I haven't done the quest yet, but I saw the post. Can you try telegrabbing it out of the air? Because it's an item that you can pick up. Because you can unequip your primary weapon when it, like, gets behind you. I'm sure it'll be very spaghetti code, but I also would like to see. I think time stop mechanics are cool. Oh, my soul ran out. I should probably use that. For example, what if Akkha froze you in time, summoned a shit ton of unstable orbs, and you saw exactly the trajectory they were going in, and they went way faster than they are right now, and you basically have to play like a mini, like, dodge fest. But it's all preset, so you can, like, memorize, like, the order that they're coming in and how to move. Why did I just go double power? Holy shit, I just brained off and double powered. Alright, so I won't have that many restores, that's okay. We didn't need those anyway. Oops. Oh, my bad, Lisa. Hello. Yeah, I think Nightmare tanking was cool. I think just juggling aggro is cool. Plug in to prevent that. Yeah. I won't use it. You know how I am. FAFO. Tank swapping, yeah. You don't need to have one tank. I think tank swapping is fine. I'm not gonna use offensives for this. Just for the mage one, of course. Definitely losing a few, like 1 or 2 max hits, but I'm okay with this. Repair region, I drank it. In my tummy. Got a 242 Baba thanks to you. Hey, that's huge. That's actually really fast. What raid level are you doing? 500s? I think you said? 540s? 530s? Can't remember. There's someone that told me they were doing 530s. And since Skulls just happened, I know that this next special is going to be not Skulls. The next one's going to be Windmill. That's pretty fast, yeah. Even for a 500, 242 is pretty good. A lot better than like the 330s you'll get with six stick. Well, I don't think you'll get 330s that often, but you probably get like 320s pretty commonly, right? 320s, 315s. I'm gonna use a red pyramid because we went double power. Akkha's inconsistent. Yeah, Akkha's kind of an inconsistent room in general. Is what it is. Definitely does help though to like practice the transitions. Five minutes? I could have skull skipped all of them. Have some time to spare. Akkha butterfly take perfect. If you're using a 5-tick weapon, yes. But there is a 4-tick butterfly method too. You don't lose any ticks with either Shadow or Trident. The only thing is you don't really want a butterfly with a Trident. Because your Trident DPS is usually pretty bad compared to the other options available. Shadow, then yeah, definitely you should butterfly. Butterfly is both helpful because you're taking less damage from melees, and you're getting your Shadow uptime really high, which is your highest DPS. Can't telegrab? Aw. Thanks for trying. I think being able to... I think telegrabbing attacks out of the air would be a cool mechanic for Jackets to implement. It would... Imagine how cool that would be. You have like a dedicated major. Like imagine the unstable orbs were targeted. And you can just telegrab them off. Like they would follow you around and you could just telegraph them off. Healer? I don't want Ruskate to have a healer role, I'll be honest. It could be done though. It'd be done. What is your purpose? You cast heal other and then drink the ambrosia and heal me again. Imagine, that's your role. Press heal other and then you ambro and you heal other again. Bruh. Would not want Ruskate to have healers. Biggest dry streak on 540s? 26 was my recent dry streak. I think I've gone 32 though, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty bad. I'm gonna hit it there. It's not that good, this one. Only 18.14. I'm kind of spoiled. If I see anything below 18.3, I get like... Sorry, chaps is purple. Very specific, I like the guess. And rain purple's after a streak now. And we got one ward and then it went back down to being quiet again. Oh yeah, some people are talking about that 40k agility XP. We're foaming at the mouth for agility XP. I should have positioned myself in advance. I lost a tick there. So for example, see how I'm leaving these melees alive? Because I can usually get some good tick uptime if I kill them while I'm doing the puzzle. These are like the small things you should be thinking of when you're doing like monkey rooms kind of efficiently. And I'm gonna start hitting the thralls that I don't think I can clear out. Kind of grief the ending. I should have lured that volatile out earlier, but small things like that is how you set up your monkey room. Just kind of being always aware of your positioning. If I popped that volatile earlier, I probably could have brought it to maybe like 141. Get any shadows yet, main? Missing shadow on Masori top. Unfortunate. Oh, so look, 70%. I'm gonna stop my DPS here. Let him hit me one more time. Boom. Then I proc. And the monkeys are out. Now I don't have to deal with him. Deal with the monkeys for P2. You recommend your melee only builds for Coliseum first time? I'll be honest. I say yes because it feels very, very straightforward to me. The tank just for a second to lure it closer. You're in tank gear. You're basically in tank gear the entire run. And your DPS is very respectable, especially over like Bofa and stuff. It's very pack-gacky. That being said, a lot of people, for some reason, their brain literally fries when they have to lure a monster closer. And they feel like it's terrible. It's up to you. If your brain fries, then go ahead and go ranged. But I don't see why you would take a lesser DPS option just so you can hit things. And you're gonna take Myopia anyway. Say monkeys proc at 70% now. So the monkeys specifically spawn the first melee after the rubble pops. So the rubble will pop, and then if you let Baba do one more melee attack on you, she will summon the monkeys. So that's what you should be doing, is judging your DPS based on that proc time. I mean, 4-way shadow is really, really good for the Fremnik Berserker. So I would recommend it for that. But otherwise, it's kind of like meh, you know? 246 and a 545. Pretty solid. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Being in full Torva the entire time means like it's really hard to die. When you start speeding up, I say you're like getting sub 20 runs, or like pretty often, you can switch over to ranged. It helps for a little bit extra speed. But melee is definitely the most consistent, hard to die way to like do Coliseum. My melee inventory has like 4 combo eats. One of the things I don't like about Shadow is that they put the on-paper Shadow DPS. They're like, oh, but if I'm hearted, I'll do this much DPS. But let's be real, your first kill, you're gonna brew down. And then what are you gonna do when your heart's on cooldown and you drank a brew? You're just gonna be hitting at 99 magic? Of course you are, because there's your first kill count and stuff. And then your DPS is in the gutter. Bandos? Oh, Bandos is fine. Just do Serphelm. Do Serphelm, Bandos top, and just the legs. Pretty much the same defense as Torva. And yeah, try do a 4-way shadow for one hitting them, and you're chilling. You hit one egg here. I think our DPS seems okay. I'm gonna regret it because now my DPS is gonna go in the gutter, isn't it? Yeah, my DPS went in the gutters. What's the 4-way shadow? Tormented Occult, and then Heart, I think. But you need to use a Arc. I don't. What is that freaking pink pyramid called? I forget. Augury. Misclicked. We let one in. I think that's 2 in, but that's okay. I had no idea. Knows him. I don't really do Shadow. I just do Heg Super Pack Yak. Definitely would be more efficient for me to do like range and stuff at this point because I'm pretty familiar with the solves, but I love my pack yak setup. That's such a Soul Reaper axe? You mean just for like melee setup? Obviously Scythe is good for the big ones. Soul Reaper axe I only use for... Or you just mean like... I assume you don't have Scythe, I guess. You want to use Noxious Halberd for Soul. Oh, 1x1s? For 1x1s you can use... Halberd should be fine. Well, I hope that's not a big number. Nope. I normally would say Fang's a little bit better. If you can one-shot with Whip, that would be good. One-shot for the Ranger. That way you don't have to use SGS to one-shot. Like, Fang's better for the Major, but Fang's kind of sucks for killing the Meleeer. So I would say, yeah, if you don't have like Rapier Mace, the cheapest would be Noxious Halberd, which comes with the plus that, you know, it's good for Soul too. And Solar Flare. Mostly Solar Flare stuff. Can you link that Kara sound? I just got it off YouTube, to be honest. It's the Elden Ring Crimson Flask. This is a scuffed transition. Alright. Scuff makes stuff, as they say. I can give you the ID. I think I know what the ID is, but... Elden Ring good? Yeah, it's a very good game. For sure. Oh, sure. In a WAV file? Yeah. I'm using the Elden Ring Crimson Flask sound. What I did was I just downloaded it as an MP3. And then I used Audacity to turn it into a WAV. Love the schedule, 7 p.m. here in Sydney. No problem, dude. The Aussie viewers are eating good. Ah. Imagine Jagex releases a mechanic where like a boss is watching the position of your mouse or something. That would be some Psycho Mantis shit. If you have your mouse on the boss, he like kills you or something. Or does like a certain attack. Mobile gamer's dream. Yeah, you literally cannot have your mouse on him. Oh my god, I almost pushed that away. Actually wouldn't have been that bad. Don't examine him or he'll kill you. The examine logger's worst nightmare. The more you have your mouse on him, the more damage he does. Would you say keep Magus free? No, it takes practice for sure. It's worth it, especially if you already know Double Trouble. If you think it's time, it's time. If you already know Double Trouble, it's a lot easier, but it still takes practice. Akkha also attacks on a 6-tick cycle. So what you can do is you can kind of do like a fake 5-to-1, where when you see that you're like stepping back and starting to lose hits, just like you do at Baba, you pray melee and tank a hit, and it resets your Fang cycle. Bando's Ancestral Masseur using a chamber. Should I dump back and get Shadow for chambers? I think it's still worth it. Even if you have to do like terrible robes, Shadow's too good. Even if you're in like nothing. Obviously you want like Virtus at least, but it is what it is, you know? I think Shadow's worth it. Don't get me wrong, you can use that Shadow at Chambers too. It's juicy at Chambers actually. Shadow or Tbow? For like in general or for this boss? I would say Shadow. Tbow's kind of hot take, not hot take. It's very popular taking these days. Tbow is the worst mega rare to get first. It is actually the worst. It costs too much money and doesn't give enough anymore for its price. It's a very good mega rare, don't get me wrong, but it's the third best. Shadow saves more time than Tbow at Chambers, which is Tbow's playground, supposedly. But apparently you can just shadow everything too. Shadow for ToA is a no-brainer, like that one's obvious. And then Scythe is insane for Coliseum and TOB. Scythe saves more time than freaking Tbow does at Chambers. Another freaking mind-blowing fact. And you can't even talk about upkeep anymore because the Shadow and the Tbow are so far apart and in money that you can buy a lifetime supply of runes anyway, so with the Shadow. You have an item that's 600 mil cheaper, and you can immediately have a lifetime supply of if you see it the other way, the same price, and it saves more time. How much even a Shadow? I think 1.1 bill. Yeah, there's not actually not a single piece of endgame content that Tbow is gonna reign superior in terms of time saved in that place. Like, think about if you did Shadow and you're like, oh, but I do TOB. Tbow's gonna be good for Maiden or whatever. And you're like, yeah, but Blowpipe is decent there too. And it's not actually that great of an upgrade over Dragon Dart Blowpipe. It's a minor upgrade, just mostly nice on ticks. But the actual DPS is not that much of an upgrade. For Freezers is great, though. Sodasek, Verzik P2, that's Shadow. Like, unless you're siphoning at Shadow. I don't know how Shadow compares to Whip for P3. That's the only calc I don't know. I feel like Shadow's probably better than Whip. I could be wrong though. I just realized, wait, you can buy a Shadow and a whole Soul Reaper axe. Why is anyone buying Tbow to start? Just nostalgia, I guess? You can go to Coliseum, you can go to TOB, and you can go to Chambers and ToA. You can do anything with that. Can't do Hydra, I guess. The hell? I mean, who cares about Hydra? Fuck Hydra. Aw, I DC'd. Nah, it's not you guys. My ISPs have been having issues recently. Unfortunate. It is what it is. I gotta reset my inventory. Unlucky for real. Yeah. Losing your status because of this would suck. Yeah, like, hold up. You know why you're goated? Yeah, what's up? Oh, why didn't I not pick up the potions? Watch it be vents. Because I just realized that you have Ancient Brew, yeah. You're like another small fact. Another minor optimization we can steal. Ancient Brew into regular restore. That good shit. That was slow one right there. Mostly because of the end. Ever prioritize the venomous shamans? Oh my god, it's annoying. I do, but depends, like, on the situation. If I think they're gonna meme me and run to the chat and run to like the statue, I'll try to just ignore it. I don't want to get tilted. But if they're like out in the open and they're kind of free, then yeah, generally I'll try to kill them first before they get to like a less free spot. If that makes sense. My DPS is terrible. Yeah, they do rag the whole area if you leave them alive. But I don't really prioritize them in the sense that like they have to go down first. It's more like if they're in a nice open area that I can get without losing ticks, yeah, I'll go for it. let's go. Slow shadow is what you like to see. Isn't it crazy if you're doing a 300, I already have more drop rate? I already have more drop rate than a 300 in 5 minutes. This is why high-invo ToA. this is not what Jagex intended. Like, there's no way people are gonna farm 500s like consistently. Jumping from 505 to 530 feels like a big leap. It is actually. Pathfinder actually makes the raid quite a bit harder, as well as overly draining. You don't think overly draining matters too much if you're just using like Sun Kara specs, but having more access to Sun Karas makes the raid a lot safer. Feel the difference right away in Monkey Room. Monkey Room actually doesn't scale that much. It's just I think Thralls might get 1 more HP. But the other monkeys don't scale. Well, Casey, you get your first shadow. I got pretty spooned for the first one. I think it was like 40-ish normals. I got it in the first week. I got my first shadow in the first 1 or 2 weeks of doing ToA. Like on release. But then after that, my first solo, I guess my second shadow ever or first solo shadow was around 170-ish expert. But I was already doing like 400s by then. I'm happy to say that I was ahead of the curve. I was already doing 400s. Like high 400s before the kit even came out. Should not have hit that egg. It was a mistake to believe that my DPS would be good. Yeah, I mean, every raid is really fun when it releases. Definitely can't deny that. Remember, insanity was like actually insane back then. Just like trying it was like really difficult. Now everyone's like, come on, insanity by default. Oh, your first Masori set at 1 bill. That's pretty much where I bought all my stuff too, around all of those same prices. Fang I did not buy at 400. I bought it at like 300 though. But I still think it was worth every penny. $100k sand fuse is lit, by the way, I saw that. Horse. Gotta load up on those sand fuse. For Coliseum Max Melee, should I use Bellator instead of Ultor? If you're bringing a rank horse, which I think you said you were, I would just use Ultor. I use Bellator back before Rancor is released because Blood Fury Bellator was about the same DPS, and you could use Echo Boots. It was a little bit lower, but it was like close enough that it was fine. But these days, I would just recommend, especially with the Rancor switch, always use Ultor. Is everything low defense? No, surprisingly not. Things have a pretty decent amount of defense there. The Major has like no defense, but like the Manticore and the Manticore, Minotaur, and Ranger have enough defense that it's annoying. That makes sense. The Ranger actually has quite a bit of defense. The Major for sure. The Major has like no defense. The Minotaur is not that much defense. The Manticore is definitely chunky though. But yeah, I mean, it's all irrelevant because these days I would just say bring Ultor. I wouldn't do Echo Boots anymore though, I think. I think if you go Echoes, I'm pretty sure if you go Echoes, you don't get 50 max hit. With Blood Fury. So we'll just camp Rims. I know Echoes Rancor Ultor still hits 50. But yeah, no need anyway, because you just have the regen pot anyway. Just pre-pot the regen. I wouldn't bring a whole regen into Coliseum. The runs don't take that long. Just pre-pot the regen, you'll have about roughly 7 minutes value by the time you start. And then you'll probably finish the run in 13 more minutes. So you still save 2 doses doing it that way. Jackie said they're gonna add watchers to the stadium. Dude, the Theater of Blood has an audience of 0. Isn't that crazy? You don't even see Verzik watching. Verzik can at least talk shit, you know, like in the stands. They're never adding an audience to the Coliseum. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Jagex will never do it. Yeah, no need. The Echoes were never about the prayer bonus, by the way, Ninja. They were all about the range defense. But it's not that big of a deal to not have it. This is nice if you're doing Din Shees. TBH. I mean, I guess you can just say I can do Echoes and altered the entire run, because like why Blood Fury, but I didn't mean to click on top of that. Dude, I swear they changed it from 6-tick, because if that was 6-tick, I would have been able to attack there. Like, I can't attack here. Okay. Nope. How about getting hit? Jesus. Well, I cannot physically tank a melee without dying here. I gotta stop messing this up. I don't know if you can redemption these projectiles. I think you can. Yeah, you take no damage if you do step back, but it's not worth it because it's so little. Obviously, in that case, I couldn't do it because I was like 5 HP. But it's always worth doing the occasional tank to reset it, if that makes sense. It's like, it's the same concept as 5 to 1, actually. It's the exact same concept. Where eventually you'll start losing the DPS, so you might as well just tank one hit. But yeah, you never want to tank it for no reason. I mean, that would make no sense either. Oh, I never drank the adrenaline. No wonder I had no stamina. No spec energy. Actually, gotta pay attention a little bit. The orbs. Gotta make sure I don't get hit by them. Yeah, I normally just head empty it and just like tank like all the orbs. But this time I actually gotta be a little bit careful. So how many times I messed up and got hit by like an orb and still lived? I'm chilling. The setup is great. Basic melee and slow shadow. Yeah, that's pretty good though. They happen a lot more than the rock throw stuff. So much information, yeah. 5 to 1 is pretty complex, I would say. It's definitely an unexpectedly complex amount of info. Definitely feels satisfying though. Having an answer to every single attack. I'm gonna go with this one. 6 lost. No. 31 perps. Good luck, man. Good luck, man. This is the run for sure. I think it's worth for learning wave skip for emergency. Yeah, for sure. 90% of my Zebaks I don't do anything with wave skip, but it really helps for that 10%. Occasionally you'll have some where like, yeah, Narnia wave sucks. For me, I don't really mind Narnia waves too much. It just sucks when like the entire row is acid and your only choice is to basically touch to acid for a tick. That's when wave skip is nice. I accidentally lost ticks killing Zebak at the end there. I shot him from too far away. What's the timing on it? So just before the wave gets up to you, like literally right before the wave gets up to you, you want to step back away from the wave. The wave will kind of like follow you at the exact same walking pace. And then you just run through the wave. Did I go for Obelisk? Yeah. Shadow in general. It's not that difficult. The only thing you want to watch out for wave skip is make sure that the acid line is clear when you skip over. Acid skip is definitely one of the easiest mechanics to learn at Zebak. You won't use it most of the time, but it is nice for when you need it that one time. Oh yeah, wave skip was not something I needed a video on. I saw someone do it once, and I instantly was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use that if I need it." And that's it. Just from seeing me do it, If you see anyone do it, sure, you'll just pick it up right away. 75, I don't think I need to heal, right? I don't know what its max it is. Below 70 for sure I should heal. When I max out the strength XP, I have to bring Torva legs again. And I think that means I'll have to flick for Kephri, unfortunately. How come he heals sub 70? Because I'm human and I will make a mistake at skulls. I have made mistakes at skulls. And they will smite me. I'm just scared of, like, if I make a mistake from skulls and then I get hit off prayer from the smite, I'll die. So I would just always safe up. Another honorary Australian. How's it going, Pim? Basically just safing up. For, like, why not? Ensure that no matter what I do, I cannot die. No matter how I mess it up. How's it going, Philos? Mr. Finch. Retirement from the game treating you well? Hey, that's good to hear. Always good to take a break from RuneScape. Breaks are how you are able to re-enjoy the game again. Architectural plans before 8 AM. Good luck, dude. Without to never come back? You know that's not true. We know that's not true. We'll come back at some point. This is when. How's it going, Max Fishing? Howdy to you as well. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Whoa. Gotta resummon there so it doesn't yoink my hit. It still yoink my hit. That's rude. Corner indicator tiles? What's that? Oh, you mean like does a corner of everyone? Is that a new thing? Or do you mean for myself? I don't like the one that for myself. Yeah, that one I've seen. I don't like that one too much. I prefer the look of the regular indicator. I think that one's just a visual preference. For some reason, I like the regular one more. Hate that you've died once or twice to timing. Oh yeah, I'm too scared to do the timing thing. I'm not that good at timing ticks. It's pretty... Not use it when you rinse the account of the untradables. Why would you do that? Just take a break like a normal human. SMH. Is there a shadow there I didn't see? Guess so. Never purple. You think it's better to do the 530s even though they may be less consistent with clears? I mean, that's just up to you. Like, it takes practice to get... It definitely takes more practice. It's worth it. But... So you learn keyback and you do 530s and now you're doing 540s, right? In terms of purples per hour, for sure it's worth. It definitely is like an investment. Alright, this is my last raid of the night. I'd be lying to say I don't die occasionally, so it takes practice. Having it help me for that major was unintentional, but a welcome surprise. I actually don't need it. This one. Oh my god, this rat. This is like the slowest monkey room I've done in a long time. I messed up with the thrall management. 205. Okay, run it back. I'll talk about that. A higher standards than that. I don't think S35 is worth it until you get to 545, to be honest. Because you would rather want to push up the invos itself. The 35 timer is very like minute. The thralls doesn't matter which one you use in the monkey room. Just make sure you're using either the range or the mage one. Doesn't matter. It doesn't prioritize the thralls. Never. Why did I drop stuff here? I guess it's not that bad. Now you're going to be talking about my arbitrary don't want to use that plugin. Yeah, they're just random plugins I just don't want to use, to be honest. For no reason other than I just don't want to use them. And I really don't like doing NPC priority. That one, do not want to use. Just let him hit me one more time. For example, I could use it on the swarms like Kephri. I choose not to. Oh, my DPS is in the dumps. There's no better feeling than Slow Shadow P3. Slow Shadow P3 is the best thing ever. Six to 0? What a life of luxury. 3 to 3? Nah. Unless you mean 3... Unless you meant 3 hits and then 3 step unders. 3 step under hits. In which case, yes. Baba's one attack is a slow shadow, which is technically a 0. Oh, that's what you meant? Yeah. It's very, very juicy. Four to 1, and you step under right before the rock hits you. For the rock throw into basic melee, yeah. Ebez is really bad. Definitely not hitting any eggs. %? It depends. It could be less than 10%. For me, I usually let either no swarms in or more commonly let one swarm in. Depends on how the spawns go. So if they're spamming, like spawning back there, I might let one in. Like here, I'm gonna let one in. But if they don't really spawn back there, you just let one in. Which leaves it at 24, yeah. It also depends how much you hit the meleeer. If you do a lot of damage to the meleeer in the beginning, she won't heal as much. I'm gonna set this ranger trap a little bit deeper. I wonder if it still sees me. Probably does. I got double range there. Oh, that sucks bad. Are you kidding me? They're not the same spawn every time, nah. It goes clockwise and it can skip, but you can just skip randomly. So if they keep giving you like a bunch of those bar spawns, you can't reliably zero swarm it unless you're willing to basically like compromise your positioning. You can actually get away with it every time if you're really, really correct and you like pray range when you go to go blowpipe them. But that gets you like, it gets very dangerous when it comes to like getting bit and stuff. Yeah, that arcane procced once per hit. It was really annoying. I messed up and got double range here. That was like the biggest mistake. I didn't even care about that. Getting double range there really sucked. It's very hard to time the redemption, holy shit. He attacks every 3 ticks and his freaking projectile takes a year to get to you. Just... You always seem to fuck up to take hella damage like that. How do you take damage? You can pray melee on the very first. You can pray melee on the very first melee too. You see how I pray ranged in the beginning, and then as soon as I get that second fang in, I pray ranged. That's what you should be doing. Because if you do it in a different way, then you're probably gonna either get potentially bit in the beginning, which is fine if you have like Torva and Piety, but it still is like an extra chance to hit. But make sure you pray range. That's like really important. The range is way more damage on average, just because of its like pure accuracy. When you run down and pray range as you run down, that one is a little bit spooky. You can get bit once, but I'm actually thinking about changing the way I move down slightly, a very slight alteration. And I think it'll make it so that you can't actually take any damage running down either. But I have to actually try it out. I keep forgetting to do it in the moment. I recently added a tile marker last stream, and I think if I use that to path, I won't be able to get ranged at Kephri. At least not without having my prayer up. Okay, the way I did that was a little bit scuffed, but it works. Don't let it leave without getting your head off. I wish you could hit right there. That'd be nice skill expression. Bottom attacking you? Yeah. I think once he kind of like leaves, Simon says, you have about 4 ticks to hit him. It's pretty generous. Sometimes you have to lure him out, and sometimes you'll have to lure him out a little bit before you can hit him, but it's pretty generous. I don't want to worry too much about it. One of the tips I'd like to do is you always go for it, and if he's like lured out a little bit more than you would like, you can always step back a little extra, just like how you do when you proc the shadows in the first phase, and then manual path. That seemed like a very big circle. Nice. Getting 6-minute Akkha sometimes. I mean, it happens. I got a 6-minute Akkha today too. It's all about the average, right? Sometimes you'll get a 6-minute. Sometimes you'll get like a 4-minute something. Step 1 tile more. Yeah, that one's pretty big. Did I skip waves? I think I skipped. I think I skipped second waves. This seems pretty good. Allows to hit Jugs of Shadow, yeah. The fact that Shadow has a big ass delay is really annoying. Any purple luck? Not today. Unfortunately. Where am I from? I'm in New York. It is 4 in the morning right now. This is my last raid before I go to bed. I just ended up falling asleep after work, so here I am. Causes blood spawns and jugs to happen at the same time. It's his RNG. He does his special attacks at a set period of time. And then if you just happen to proc your specials HP around that same time, it just happens. There's no like cause for it other than just unlucky on the HP thresholds. It's not too bad usually, though. You just gotta be kind of careful. Make sure you push the jug like a little bit last second. Or like lure them away and stuff. It's a good habit to try to, if you want like a little bit faster Zebak times, it's a good habit to try to like see or judge how long it'll take for the jug to pop if you need to do a blowpipe solve. Most of the time you don't need to do a blowpipe solve, but when you do need to do a blowpipe solve, you want to like shadow and then let yourself like get ready, if that makes sense. Oh, almost didn't see that one. Because there's a cooldown before you can push and then blowpipe. You can minimize tick loss for jugs as well, if you're really sweaty about it. Are you safe for P2? 1 and 2. 1 and 2 tiles away. Unless you meant like it blowing up. I think this is dangerous, so 1, 2, 3. 4 should be fine. I think 4 tiles is fine. Now he meant like if you're just like running away from it. I think 4 tiles. If you're using this tile marker, this is dangerous. Ever do duos? Nah. I only do duos if it's like someone I've known for a while. Otherwise, I try to be like really efficient. I'll do it with like an Iron Man. I have an Iron Man friend that I'm probably gonna do duos with at some point, but they're gonna be very lopsided, like boosting duos. My rule of thumb is when I use that corner tile that I normally use, if it's under his toe, it's dangerous. If it's farther than his toe, then it's safe. I mean, the toe is like definitely the most dangerous shadow because you never see it coming. That's like the only tile I really stare at most of the time. And underneath you and his toe are the only like dangerous tiles that are hard to see. Big toe or the little toe? I don't know. His left foot, that's all I know. The one that covers the whole tile. You gotta be careful, dude. Shadows are not worth Seerculling Warden. I don't really like to do it, but you could do it. In solos, it doesn't really save that much time. Like if I hit an average Seercull, I'm only saving 1.5 seconds. If I hit a big one, I'm saving like 4 seconds. And if I hit a small one, then I'm literally losing time. So it's like a slightly weighted coin toss. I don't bother because for 100% spec, I'd rather just have it for sun. Yeah, 4 seconds max, yeah. I'd rather just have it for sun in case I make some like egregious mistake. I haven't yet, but still. I'm not spending 100% spec for a maybe 4-second time save at best scenario. Yeah, I mean most specs don't save that much time, but at least like hitting his ECB is pretty like almost guaranteed to be 6 seconds time save, you know? 80% chances at a 6-second time save. That means like ZCB, if you like do it comparatively, right? ZCB is 3 to 4 times like better than the Seercull at the start here. I think if you're doing like teams, you'll save a little bit more time. Then you'll be saving like 4 seconds, which is actually about the same value as the ZCB. Like a 20 Seercull, never hit more zeros in my life. Dude, the last Zebak I did was insanely fast. Wasn't even that good of a Seercull. Was it? I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was a 259 Zebak. I've had only one comparatively better Zebak in my life. I think it was a 304 or 307 level 5 Zebak. That one was crazy. All right. Never looking. A whole 4 dry. How are we gonna live with ourselves? It could be worse. Soul runes went back up. Dang. Can I show a log? Yeah, sure. I wish I had more shadows. I'm a little dry in the shadows. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed, guys. I have to, unfortunately, go back to bed. Be a responsible, functioning adult in this society. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for watching.